Hello there and welcome to Extra. I'm Evelyn Wood, filling in for your regular host Diane. Today on the show we talk to Jimmy Drekore, founder of the Simbu Children Foundation, and we'll look at how prison inmates are helping to promote safer communities. That later in the show. For now, we look at delicious chocolates that are made locally. Jacqueline Kanabudi brings us this story.
Chocolate Company has been working and supporting the local cocoa growers in PNG to make sure that only the best cocoa beans are grown in the fertile coastal plains of PNG. All the cocoa beans are collected right across PNG, from plantations in New Britain, Bougainville, East and West Sepik, Kokoda, Medeng and Morobe. When the cocoa beans reach the factory, they are carefully inspected by the quality assurance team before being transferred from a bucket elevator into the roaster. The beans are roasted for about an hour before being cooled and transferred to a winnower. The winnowing process breaks the roasted cocoa beans, leaving only the rich cocoa nibs behind. Then the nibs are transferred to a pin mill which further breaks the nibs before being passed to a roll refiner to produce a cocoa paste. The cocoa paste are then pumped into a ball mill which over time produces a fine cocoa mess or cocoa liquor. It is then stored in a temperature-controlled tank before being pumped into a mixer to make chocolate. At this stage, additional ingredients such as sugar, vanilla and in case of milk chocolate, milk are added. It is then blended and forms a thick paste. The paste is then transferred to a refiner which then turns the chocolate paste into fine powder again. The powder is now being passed by conveyors where the powder is turned back into liquid. Again, at this stage, the assurance team ensures that the chocolate is of right consistency. Then it is transferred from the contours to the chocolate tanks. From there, it is tempered and later piped into chocolate molds. When the molds are filled, it is then vibrated and cooled. At this process, if chocolate bars are not in required shapes, they are manually removed and put into a bin for reprocessing. After the cooling process, the chocolate then goes through a horizontal cold wrapping machine. And this is the last and final stage, the wrapping and the packaging of the chocolates. The chocolate comes in three types: the dark Covaches, Lovina milk chocolate, and Queen Emma Gold. Queen Emma Chocolate Company also do chocolate chips and buttons for commercial clients like hotels. And this is how chocolates are made at Queen Emma Chocolate Company.
Thanks, Jackie, for that mouth-watering story. Next, we talk to Jimmy Drekore, a young man who has initiated a project to help youth in the Simbu province.
I had this experience at the hospital where I came across this little girl who had both of her legs broken, and she was in the hospital for 7 years, and she didn't have any guardian. So I, just at the top of my head, saw this girl and said I was going to be a guardian because she didn't have any guardian. And it all started from there. And then, you know, we had to have teams set up from various locations, and I think we've come 12 years now. Simbu Children Foundation has come this far.
On the 15th of March 2005, it all started. The Simbu Children Foundation. 12 years have passed now, and Jimmy is a respected man in his home province. This charity foundation is seeing success and recognition globally. And attending the World of Children, Jimmy is honored with an award for his duties to the Simbu children.
In April, I received an invite from the World of Children that they want me to send in an application, and their minimum requirement was 10 years of consistent service. So realizing that I was the president, this is a 12-year running, I sent in the application, and and some of the projects that we're doing with Simbu Children Foundation, I think they're very innovative in itself.
Jimmy and his team fund FS, medical tests, and surgical operations for village children in Simbu to the general hospitals in the country and also overseas. This foundation is successful as every volunteer do this as labor of love. And all their projects are successful, one of which is Brave Hearts.
Brave Hearts is kids with cardiac issues. When these kids are identified, and you have annual operation open heart in Mosby. Now the sad reality is, in most of the provinces, the responsibility is given back to the parents. The parents have to bring these kids down here, because though they are shortlisted, how they find their way to Mosby and some of the parents sit out. And most of these rural parents, they can't even afford something like 3,000 Canadian big money to us. So that's when the hospital stops and the parents come in. That's where Simbu Children Foundation come in to help the parents bring these kids down to the operation open heart and at least give these kids a second chance in life.
And with all the help from fellow volunteers, supporters and donors, SCF is gaining momentum. And with their theme, Simbu helping Simbus, they have excelled. And knowing that the Simbu spirit is in every heart, that helps these children.
My challenge now is I want to save these kids, but the long term is, will the kid ever reach university? That question hangs.
And if you want to donate equipment, clothes, books to this foundation, please inquire on this email, admin@simbuchildrenfoundation.org, or contact the team on mobile phone 72725826. Or if you are donating in cash, account details are Bank of South Pacific, Simbu Children Foundation, account number 10012400413.
Certainly a great initiative there. Coming up, afternoon tea on Extra.